Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Adidas Ace 15.1 in the brand new limited edition Eskolaite colorway. Now, as you can see, it does come in a special gray and black drawer style box. Pull the drawer open, and on the inside they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is solar green in color with a metallic silver chevron kind of graphic going across the front and back of the bag. Black strings, the Eskolaite branding at the top in black, the Ace logo in the middle, and your Adidas football branding there at the bottom. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at this very interesting colorway of the Adidas Ace 15.1. Now in today's video, we are of course going to be taking a detailed look at the colorway itself because it is a little bit different than what you've seen in some of the online pictures, at least based on what I've seen. We're also going to go over all the tech specs, performance features, and also how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more about this specific colorway of the Ace 15.1, please stick around and watch the entire video. We'll go over absolutely everything. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, click the very first link down below in the description of this video. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $230 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now this is of course part of the Eskolaite pack, so you can get the Ace 15.1, which is what I have right here, as well as the X 15.1, video on those coming soon, in this kind of chrome and solar green colorway. Now, Adidas has specified that this is a limited edition release. They didn't give any specific numbers on exactly how many they made, but they are supposedly more limited than the standard release colorway. So keep that in mind if you're a collector or if you just want something that's a little bit more exclusive. Like I said, they aren't making as many of this particular colorway as the other ones that have been released so far. In regards to why this is called the Eskolaite pack, because that name really doesn't mean too much to the average person, Eskolaite is an uncommon chromium oxide mineral, and I know that doesn't mean much either, but essentially it is the name of a specific mineral that essentially is chrome or metallic silver, which is obviously the main color for this particular shoe. And I have to say, they look much better in person than I was originally anticipating. The pictures online really don't do this shoe justice. It still is a very wild colorway and certainly isn't for everybody, but it definitely has that cool kind of chrome look about it. It's not overly shiny, it's not blindingly bright or anything like that, but it's definitely unique. I like the look of chrome shoes, and these look really interesting with all the texturing that you have in the upper of the Ace 15.1 with its control web synthetic. Now, you will notice that there are some variations in terms of what pictures you will see at online retailers. They have some sample pictures up that aren't necessarily the same as the final product. You can see that the Adidas stripes on the lateral and medial side are solid silver, whereas some websites, they will show kind of a green at the bottom and then it fades into silver. That is not something that they actually made. So regardless of what's pictured, this is what you'll receive. Some variations also show these with green laces as opposed to gray ones. But as you guys can see, this is the production version. They come with gray laces. And like I said, the Adidas stripes are solid silver as well. So you have that nice chrome color across the entire upper. The heel liner is a lime green color, solar green from Adidas. Same thing with the insole, heel counter, and then pretty much the entire sole plate is solar green as well, with some very, very subtle metallic silver accents kind of on the underside showing through the translucent studs, which again, I think looks pretty cool. It's a nice combination of colors, lime green, metallic silver, definitely uncommon, definitely interesting looking, but let me know your opinions on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. In regards to performance, I'm a big fan of the Ace 15.1. It's a shoe that reminds me a little bit of the Nike Magista Opus, also a little bit of the Evo Power 1.2 in terms of the type of feel that it provides. Now the upper is made from what they call control web synthetic, which I would describe as kind of like a harder foam material. It's flexible, it's soft, and because you have all these cutouts in the upper, that's what gives it this kind of unique look on the surface. It's very, very pliable and moves naturally with your foot. There's minimal break-in time required with this particular shoe, and it also has a nice deep fit that just makes the shoe feel very comfortable from right out of the box. In terms of actual touch on the ball though, like I said, this material, kind of like a dense foam, It feels thin, but at the same time you get a very slight amount of cushion, which, like I said, reminds me a little bit of the Magista Opus as well as the Evo Power 1.2. So if you're looking for something that feels padded and cushioned on your foot, this is not what you're looking for. But if you want something that is on the thinner side, but at the same time provides just a slight amount of padding, this is definitely one of those shoes that you may want to consider. You have all that texturing on the surface of the upper from the actual cutouts that honestly aren't super noticeable while you're actually playing, but you're also going to notice when you get up close that you have all these little tiny dots scattered across the entire surface of the upper. Those are what they call their non-stop grip dots, which is kind of their variation, or Adidas' variation of ACC from Nike. It's a wet control element. They're supposed to provide a little bit of extra grip on the ball, and they do that to a certain extent, although I would say that it's not a major element just like ACC, and it's not really going to make or break your experience with this shoe or really any of the top end models from Adidas, mainly the X15.1, which also has a very similar element on the upper. The lacing system is off-centered, as you guys can see, which does make for a slightly cleaner striking surface right here on the medial side. And it's just got a consistent feel across the entire upper, which is something that I really, really like. Minimal lining on the inside. It's actually kind of part of the upper, so you don't have a lot of bulk, as you guys can see. And again, the shoes just feel great from the get-go. There's no break-in time. There's really no adjustment period. They're comfortable right off the bat. And the type of touch that it provides is pretty unique. It doesn't really feel like anything else out there on the market, but does remind me of the Opus and the Evo Power 1.2. You're going to find that it does have a fairly deep kind of fit in the heel, so it will come up a little bit higher on the sides of your ankle, which is no big deal. Reminds me a little bit of something like the Predator Adi Power, which is not a bad thing at all. It does have this nice big external heel counter, which I'm personally a big fan of. The heel liner is a smooth synthetic material with some decent padding, so again, step-in comfort, not an issue whatsoever. The insole is fully removable. It features a mesh liner on top, some perforations through the midfoot and forefoot, and it's made from a single layer of this black foam material. Nothing too fancy, but it does get the job done. And in regards to the sole plate, this is what they call their ground control stud pattern. The sole plate itself is a pretty thin TPU plastic material that's nice and flexible, which I personally really like. It doesn't necessarily need to be fancy, and that's not what they've given us here. But then, of course, you have that ground control stud pattern, which is an FG AG stud pattern. So it's designed to be used on both firm natural grass as well as artificial grass, which is pretty interesting. And out of all the new FG AG models from Adidas, I would say that this is the most capable. It's the only true FG AG stud pattern that they've actually given us. You can see that the main studs, 4 in the heel and then 6 in the forefoot, they're conical in shape. They have a fairly large profile about them, and they're not overly long. They're long enough to provide good grip on natural grass, and they're also short enough to not feel overly long on artificial grass, which is obviously very important. They don't have that clingy sensation, mainly because they're not overly long. They have that larger profile, and of course, they're rounded, so they're not gonna stick in the ground, whether you're on natural grass or artificial grass. And then, as you guys can see, all around the main studs, mainly through the midfoot and forefoot, you're going to find these tiny little conical studs that, again, give you that little bit of extra grip on both types of playing surfaces. Traction is definitely a strong point on this particular shoe, and you really can transition from firm natural grass to artificial grass without any major issues. The shoe just performs extremely well. So if you're looking for a great pair of shoes that perform well in terms of traction as well as durability on both firm natural grass and artificial grass, this is definitely one of the better options out there on the market. Adidas, of course, does offer the X line and the Messy line with FGAG stud patterns as well, but I would argue that those lines feel more like firm ground stud patterns than artificial grass ones, where this truly does feel like a hybrid type of stud pattern. So that's pretty much it in terms of what the Ace 15.1 has to offer. And with that said, we're going to move on to a quick weigh-in portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how light these things are. In regards to weight, the Ace 15.1 is a comfortable and solid feeling shoe on feet, but it isn't what I would consider to be overly lightweight. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 9.45 ounces, the equivalent of 268 grams. So earlier in the video, I did compare this shoe to the Nike Magista Opus, as well as the Puma Evo Power 1.2. Both of those shoes, while they're going to offer a similar type of feel, when it comes to the upper, they are significantly lighter than the Ace 15.1. So if weight is a major concern for you, those might be better options. But if you want something that's comfortable, more solid, and arguably more durable, because you can use this on both natural grass as well as artificial grass, and weight isn't a major concern for you, the Ace 15.1 is a very, very good option. All right, so here is a look at the Ace 15.1s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock gray laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of reflective metallic silver SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, be sure to check out the website www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, like I mentioned earlier, they're very comfortable from right out of the box. It's got a nice deep fit that is pretty generous in terms of width. So as long as you don't have extremely wide feet where you normally need your shoes to stretch a lot in order to fit you comfortably, you shouldn't have any issues in the Ace 15.1. They're going to be suitable for most people and most foot types, and they will give just a little bit in terms of stretching width-wise based on how they feel, or how they fit, sorry, from right out of the box. The upper is soft, it's flexible, it's on the thinner side, and like I said, they just feel really, really good. No heel slippage like you're gonna find with the X line from Adidas. It has more of a standard fit, kind of what you got from the last couple of Predator models. In regards to width, like I said, they're gonna be suitable for most people. Again, as long as you don't have excessively wide feet, you shouldn't have too many issues. And in terms of sizing, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair, I would strongly recommend going true to size. I also like how the stud pattern doesn't feel too aggressive, because again, this is an FG-AG stud pattern. It shouldn't feel like a firm ground stud pattern. It shouldn't necessarily feel like an AG stud pattern. It's kind of in between, and that's why it works so well on two different types of playing surfaces, which I can't really say about any other stud pattern currently on the market. So again, if you play on both natural grass as well as artificial grass, and you only want to buy one pair of shoes, the Ace line, or the Ace 15.1 specifically, is definitely one of, if not the very best option on the market. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Eskolaite Pack Adidas Ace 15.1. Again, if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, click the very first link down below in the description of this video. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find high quality images of this exact pair, along with buy it now links that will have exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $230 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions at all regarding the Ace 15.1, leave them down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.